Hey, it's Klein with another exclusive Audacy check-in, this time with our buddy Yungblud.
Do I have a place I like to go? I mean, there's like a lot of places. I like this Italian restaurant, Jones, in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it looks
Jones
like,
on 3rd?
Yeah.
No, Jones in Hollywood.
Jones
That's
in Hollywood.
Jones.
It's
the
like
pizza place.
It's like an Italian restaurant that's very dark and like I feel like I'm in like old school like Chicago mafia town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just
It's got that feel. I love that place because, you know, as a guy, if you look like me, you want to be like in as many shadows as possible. You want to be kind of hidden away. You know, and obviously if you're Yungblud, you're getting recognized everywhere. I feel like when you land, you immediately go to the Sunset Strip because when I think of you, I think of LA. I think of you, be it the Roxy or the Wiz, anywhere there, it's just up and down, and you have people. I mean, I've seen you now falling off of buses there.
Yeah.
I've seen you during the middle of the pandemic with people just kind of hanging all over you.
That was pretty mental. To be honest, I was like, I think, you know what I mean, when you like, America was always so alien to me when I was growing up. I just wanted to go there because I would see Ozzy's been there.
Right.
I'd see like the Pistols had been there and the Stones had been there, and I'd look at all like the British rock and roll stars that had been to America, and that's where they'd all drink. You know what I mean? They'd be in the Rainbow, and I was like, I don't know, I always go there. And then like I would find my reprobate mates, like Machine Gun Kelly's having a beer there.
Yeah.
And then like the craziest night I had was when Ozzy dropped his album and he told me the time about Sid Vicious assaulting him in the toilets upstairs, and I was like mind blown. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I'm sat in the Rainbow with Ozzy Osbourne having a Dr. Pepper and a pepperoni pizza, talking about the way when Sid Vicious weed on his shoes. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is going on?
Well,
man?
you're kind of the modern day mayor of that place. That's the way I look at it. When you're there and you're singing Quiet in Beverly Hills, and I think you have fans holding the microphone at some point because they're draped all over
Dude,
you.
that was...
What a moment, huh?
It was, I think, to be honest, after like 18 months in a pandemic, you know what I mean? I was in LA for like 6 months of it, leading up to the quarantine being lifted in Los Angeles. And it was like, save the date, guys. And it was like, we were wondering, would the mayor let it happen? And we were like calling the whiskey on the sly going, right, if on the day this happens, the day after it, I want to throw a gig. I want to like a free gig. Let's close down the strip. I want it to be like, I never got to play the whiskey. You know what I mean? Because it was like, we kind of just missed it. And I was like, Oasis played the whiskey the first time they came here. You know what I mean? I was like, the Crew played the whiskey. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I need to play the whiskey. So I was like, let's do that. And it was mental. I just dropped it on my Instagram with like 5,000 kids on the street. And I was nervous because, you know what I mean? I'd not been in America. I was like, will anybody turn up? And
yeah.
I literally was driving back from the studio, which was in Burbank. And I was staying in Malibu. So it was like a long old drive. And I was like, do you know what? Instead of bypassing, can we go past the whiskey? Because it was like 2 nights before, and I just announced it. I was like, to see if there's anybody there, to see if I'm like going to be playing to like 10 people who forgot me. You know what I mean?
Funny you still think that.
It's so weird,
right?
man. I know, it's crazy. Every time like I go out, I'm like, to my guitar techs, I'm like, is it looking busy? It's like, it's been sold out for 8 months. Of course it's busy. You know what I
There's
mean?
been people sleeping outside for 2 weeks. It's all right. You're
That's
okay.
what I'm saying. And I turn up and there's like 500 people up the street. I'm like, 2 days before, I'm like, we are going to be fine. What? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The venues on the street. I'm like, go home. Like,
Well, now you're everywhere, and you're going to be at Audacy Beach Festival in Florida later
Cannot
this
wait.
year. And have you ever played on a beach? Is that a bucket list?
I have never played on a beach in the sense of your version of a beach. I've played on a freezing cold stone
Rocky
a
cliffy.
London beach, an England beach?
Yeah, an England beach
Yeah.
covered in rain. You know what I mean? Where your chips, you can literally see the steam of your chips. I've not necessarily played on a beautiful tropical sandy beach, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And obviously you got, I don't even know if you know who's on the bill with you, but I mean, between the 4th and 5th of December, it's almost 24 artists there. You will make sure the energy is there because you always bring it. And that's, you know, you're talking about how you're not, every time you go to a show, you hope people are there. I feel like all of your shows, you have the energy as if it's your first show. Like you have the energy as if, and maybe you're thinking to yourself, who knows how long this ride lasts, so I want to give them, maybe it's someone who's seeing you for the first time and you want to make the impression. But that's what I'm so impressed by because, you know, we've known each other now on and off a couple of years, but I've seen kind of the crowds grow and grow and grow. Wow. And to see you still have the same passion when you're taken to the stage, that's remarkable because I do see artists that lose it. They get, I don't know, say complacent, but they definitely get more comfortable. I don't know what it is.
cynical. Do you know what I mean? I think with it all, I think we just have been together since we were in literally a 2-bedroom project, and there were 3 of us living in it. You know what I mean? And we would watch videos on the internet of the Chili Peppers play in LA, and like the Foo Fighters, and like Kasabian play Brixton, and the Arctic Monkeys play Brixton, and we were just always like, if we ever get there, it'll be just mad, wouldn't it? And then like it's just the same crew of best mates, like everyone from my photographer to everything is just us, and we just kind of like, I'll never take it for granted, because it's like mental, like especially at home, and like walking out to an arena now is kind of a bit like, oh wow, that is a lot of people, but I don't know, man, I still get like nervous, and I still like, and I love that. It's, you know what I mean? I think that's the important thing, just to like feel it.
Well, and I feel like you're always keeping things fresh for yourself as well. Like even with the collaborations you do,
Full
right?
on.
You're just always trying to find something new and someone new to collaborate with. I mean, it's been Avril Lavigne, MGK, like you did. The list goes on.
Travis Barker.
Yeah,
Right.
It's everyone. I think the thing about that is it's always just like, you kind of don't believe it. Like you phone, like when you kind of start to do this thing, whatever it is called good old rock and roll, like your phone just rings one day and it's like, yo, this is like the other day, one of my like Roger Daltrey from The Who called me. You know what I mean? And I was like, what?
You don't think it's one of your friends messing with you at first?
Like, no, I'm like, it was a withheld number, and I was sat down. Obviously, I was sat down, whatever. And it rang 3 times, and I don't usually pick up a withheld number because I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes
Well,
my
if
number...
I were you, I'd pick up a number I don't know, because it could be somebody important.
That's
For us,
what
it's
I'm
just
saying.
a stupid auto warranty.
To be honest, I
call.
should learn my lesson, because it's happened about 17 times
Oh
now.
my God.
So like on the 3rd time, I pick up the phone and say, hello mate, it's Roger Daltrey. Sorry I'm ringing so late. I was fixing the chimney. And I'm just like... what? And then we're talking about doing a gig together. You know what I mean? And it's just mad to me. You know what I mean? Like that's The Who, bruv. You know what I mean? I'm like, The Who.
I'm shocked he fixes his own chimney.
That's what
the
I'm
shocking
calling
part
my
about
mates,
that,
and I'm like, The Who rang me, and they're all joking, like, The Who?
Yeah.
Who rang you? I'm like, yeah, good one, shut up. The Who just rang me. What?
Yeah, so you have a busy collab schedule coming up.
Oh, dude, it's like, to be honest, the people I have met was just like, along this journey, it was like, you would never even believe it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's wild.
What would you do? Would you do a hologram collab with someone who's dead?
I mean, to be honest, the issue with that is I don't know if, like, they'd hate me if they were alive, so I don't think I could...
But if they didn't hate you, who would you do?
Oh, I mean, if, like, for example, say, like, I could tap into the universe and talk to Jesus and be like, yo, what does David Bowie think about me?
Yeah.
And Jesus was like, all right, man, Bowie actually likes you. He has his consent, then that'd be the dream come true.
So it's you and hologram Bowie on stage.
Yeah, and like maybe like throw Freddie in there and just, you know what I'm saying, just for a
That's
casual...
why you got to be at the Audacy Beach Fest. You don't know. Maybe
that's
that
what
happens.
I'm saying. Like, I might, like, Freddie Mercury might come out playing piano.
Fleabag, as you know, we're giving a lot of spins
I
right
heard
now.
it in the car on the way in.
It sounds
Oh, nice.
Thank you so much.
Let me tell you something right now, because our music director's in the studio, so he can commit. I've never called him before about a song on the radio and said, this sounds awesome coming off the radio. Miles, did I call you and I said, I'm Fleabag, I'm listening to it right now. It sounds amazing on the radio.
Yes.
I've never said that before about any song.
I'll slide you that $10
This
I
guy
owe you in
does
like
not
5
get that
minutes.
I don't care
passionate
about music in general, but when it jumps off the radio and it makes it's very rock, and I think it covers all the angst that I think like alt rock brought, like when growing up in high school, all this stuff, and you feel it in a modern day way. It's been called a mental health anthem. I don't know if that was the goal when you got into it, but obviously a lot more talk about it these days. You were well ahead of it. You've been very transparent about everything you deal with. In addition to making music, which I'm sure is therapeutic and all that stuff, do you do therapy?
I do, man. I literally, I would recommend that to everybody. You know what I mean? It's a very scary thing to be able to kind of... It's the hardest thing in the world to be yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like people... It's very strange to say that. People are like, what do you mean? I am myself. It's like, to be your true self is a real hard thing. And I would, like, anybody out there going through anything, you are valid to be going through that, even if you feel like you're not. You know what I mean? From any walk of life, anywhere, like, your head can be a dark place to talk to people about it. Always. You know what I mean?
Well, and I mean, I'm a woman having a baby with another woman. It took me a while to figure out who I was, right? And for you, I know you've identified with the word fluid in the past.
Completely.
And so, you know, how how was that journey for you? And also, just as somebody in that realm, should we add F to the LGBTQAIF?
Dude, I think with it all, I was like, I came out as pan, you know what I mean? I think, and with that, when I started Yungblud was legitimately a call out to anybody out there who felt a little bit like me, a little bit like an alien, a little bit like I'm expressing myself, yet I'm being ridiculed for it and judged for it. So is there something wrong with me? Does anybody feel like that? And then millions of people responded to me and went, yo, yeah, I do. And it was a pretty mental experience to me to find that. And I always say that, man, Yungblud ain't me. Yungblud ain't this northern red-haired, like, geezer who's, like, sat in front of you. Yeah, it's part of it, you know what I mean? But it's such a subculture. It's like a genuine thing that they carry with them. They made me feel comfortable enough to be able to be like, yo, this is who I am. And in the same way that I do, it's very much a conversation, you know what I mean, that has kind of got so much bigger than I ever expected and continues to every day. Like, I can't think about that, man, because that's spooky, you know what I mean?
But people need to hear it, that's why.
But that's what I mean. It's like, with it all, it was always about the truth, especially with rock and roll, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so sick to see rock and roll have a resurgence again, like now, especially because it was so vanilla and so boring a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? It was like literally the only rock and roll music I would listen to would be from 20 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that would literally be it. It was like, yeah, cool. Because everything now was just too much long hair and leather jackets. You know what I mean? And then it became a new thing again because it had a message and an identity. Because that's what rock and roll means to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's funny because you see these artists that get very successful, and then at some point you just see rich guys on stage playing guitars, and you have the fight in you, and I think people like that. They rally around that fight, especially as the underdog, the outcast, the misfit, and all of that. The last person we asked this question to was Halsey, so I'll get your take on it. If you had to have sex right now with either me or Allie, who do you pick? I'll tell you what Halsey said in a second. You remember Halsey's answer?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I mean, I was just like, I know you're pregnant. So like
doesn't change anything.
That's what I'm saying. It almost makes the sex better.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I know we would have a great time, but then you're so gorgeous as well. So fuck. To be honest, in situations like this, I'm not even lying. I do toss a coin.
Really? Coin flip. All right. I'm going to take that as a win. I lost the Halsey question.
No cap. Like in my whole life, I genuinely do make decisions on coin flips.
Really? What's the biggest decision you made on a coin flip?
I would probably on a mix, really, between A and C. Coin flip, fuck it, let it.
Really?
That was for the song you released.
For a song I released.
Yeah,
legitimately.
Was going to be one of two ways. Coin flip decided.
Hopefully Underrated Youth was a coin flip between two mixers, and it landed on Tails, which was A. So I was like, yeah, cool, do it.
But you've done that with people you've dated?
No, I think when it comes to love, you know what I'm saying? I think when it comes to it, like should the snare drum be 1 dB louder in this mix or not? I think when it comes to the rest of my life, I wouldn't really do that. But I mean, you know what I mean? If something's like negging at me and in the back of my mind, I'm just like, yeah, flip a coin, let's go.
Wow. Yungblud is hanging out with us. Yungblud, as you know, Fleabag you're hearing on our show, you're hearing on the station a lot. Always good when Yungblud's in town, as I've called him the mayor of the Sunset Strip. But Ali and I wanted to let some people reach out to you. You know, you're so positive. You got such just cool energy about you. And it's that time of year when people sometimes have to deliver bad news. And we thought if you could Yungblud up the message, you could make it more palatable for someone to take. So, for instance, these are some of the ones that we got from our listeners.
Yeah, we had a bunch of them come in, Yungblud. So deliver this bad news however you want to in your beautiful Yungblud way.
I'm down.
Okay. So this is from Hector from Orange County. Hey, Yungblud, could you please break the news to my girlfriend that I killed her goldfish while she was out of town?
Okay, it's Hector.
That's Hector, yeah, from Orange County.
Hello, Hector's girlfriend in Orange County. Nice to meet you. I hope you're having a lovely day, and please sit down right now because I got something to tell you. Your boyfriend might have accidentally killed your goldfish, but he loves you very much, and he's literally waiting in the other room with flowers right now and a cup of tea. Hector, make sure you do that right now, and we'll have a nice funeral for the goldfish. The goldfish will be remembered throughout the rest of time. And he's going to take you to the pet store right now to buy new goldfish. And that will be the end of that matter. I hope that you have a lovely day, and I'll see you at the show in Los Angeles in February.
Fantastic.
See, this is why Yungblud's the best guy to deliver bad news. Give another one.
All right, just one more. This is from Natalie from Hollywood. I need to tell my Nana I'm not coming home for the holidays. She's 91, and I think it would sound better coming from you.
Oh, well, I mean, I cannot help you. That's just evil.
Whatever you say, just speak up.
What's the name again?
Her name's Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
And the grandmother's Nana.
Okay. All right. Hello, Nana. I hope you're well. I am so sorry, but your granddaughter, Natalie, cannot come home for Christmas this year because we're getting married in London.
Oh.
So I will FaceTime you through it, but we didn't want you to take a long flight. I'm so sorry. I'll be there next Christmas to give you a big fat kiss and a cup of tea in bed. So I am so sorry about that. We are sorry, but we'll see you next Christmas. Love you.
This is why he's the best. Yungblud, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you for your energy. Thank you for your songs. Thank
Always.
you for everything. We appreciate you very much here. This has been a check-in, an Audacy check-in with Yungblud.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Yungblud. That has been an Audacy check-in with the great Yungblud. Huh? Thanks for hanging out. Yungblud, you'll see him in person if you head to Audacy Beach Festival happening in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The 4th and 5th of December. Tickets available. Get them now. Yungblud takes the stage. Night 2, December 5th. But of course, go there for the whole thing. The 4th and the 5th. Tickets right now at AudacyBeachFestival.com.